engage in the running of any other business or in the manage of any other business apart from farming or intellectual property business. You write a song, a public servant, you sell your songs, you write a book, you sell, and all that. If you Google the case of Federal Republic of Nigeria, this is Professor Saviour Agoro. 2 weeks ago, a renowned professor, highly celebrated professor of theater arts, was convicted and jailed for 7 years at the age of 63. I prosecuted that case. The man was the provost of Isaac Jasper Borough College of Education, and he registered companies in his name, the name of his daughter, the name of his wife. And he used it, the companies, used them to execute contracts in the school. In the school. He was signatory to the account. His name was boldly there. No senior advocate can help you in that kind of instance. And guess what? Who reported him? Who testified against him? You see, there are so many people that are interested to bring the big man down. Somebody who was aware, close to him, who was aware, petitioned and came to open court to testify against him. At the end of the day, he was convicted after 2 years trial and sentenced to how many years in prison? At what age? At the age of 6. It's everywhere on the internet. It's not hidden. So I can boldly talk about it after I prosecuted the matter. Section 13 of the Icpc Act. Fraudulent receipt of money. 3 years in prison. This is the 419 section version of the Icpc Act. Many public servants are doing 419 now. Why? Because of the economic reality in the country. 419 is no longer the exclusive reserve of private persons, of young boys again. Public servants are doing 419 too. People collect money from job seekers. I'm going to give you job. For example, NDTC. I say example. For example, civil defense. For example, police. For example, I won't use Icpc as example. You collect money from a job seeker and can't deliver on the job. You can't even give, you are even not even supposed to collect money to give somebody a job. At the end of the day, you embezzle the money. That is fraudulent receipt of money, of property. You collect, you say you are president of cooperative, you collect people's money, you disappear into the thin air. I want to buy houses, land for people, cooperative, you cannot receive money fraudulently. There was a case that was prosecuted, Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Alex Kamalo Chisom, where a young man duped a senior banker of the sum of 5 million. I want to marry you. A senior female banker, I want to marry you. Collected 5 million naira from the lady and then used that 5 million naira to arrange marriage with another lady. Case was reported. I will not tell you the agency that handled it. And then on the day of his traditional marriage to the other woman that using 5 million naira of an innocent victim to conduct, he was picked up on the day of the marriage, arrested, and relatives battled out, and the agency was able to recover 4 million naira for the innocent banker. Operatives of that agency stayed back. Immediately after they did the traditional, took him away, lock him up. He was prosecuted and convicted. That is fraud. So as public servants, we should be wary of fraud. You can do contribution. 10 people we are doing contribution here. 100,000 naira. You collect. Your turn came, you collect. First. It is a turn of somebody. The 9th person, you refuse to pay. If we catch you like that, somebody sweat. Your turn, you have collected your own, and you use it to roof your house in the village. It's time for another person to collect. It is that time that your mother is ill. You can't pay. That is fraudulent receipt of money. Section 15 of the Icpc Act. I forgot to tell you that Section 13 attracts 3 years imprisonment. Deliberate frustration of investigation of Icpc. The slide, please. You cannot frustrate the investigation of Icpc as a public servant. That Icpc has invited you, come, there's a petition against you, and you try to hide. It's a deliberate frustration of our investigation. Now, making false statements, Section 16, making false statements or returns in respect of money or property. Very peculiar to civil servants again. You are in charge of collecting revenue for the agency, for the NDDC, and you have collected revenue of 20 million. When it's time to make returns, to declare to finance, you declare 5 million naira and you hide 10 million. It's making false statements or returns in respect of money or property received. The offense is 7 years in prison. The good thing with the Icpc Act is that 85% of our offenses are custodial sentencing. That is to say, no option of fine. Section 17, gratification through an agent. I have discussed that one earlier. It's similar, it's in pari materia to Section 8 sub 2 of the Act, where people are becoming smart. Instead of going directly to collect the bribe, you now send somebody on your behalf. If the person is caught, the person will implicate you. Who sent you? The person will definitely implicate you. It's an advanced form of collecting bribe. Section 18, bribery of public officers in relation to voting at meetings. Now, this section is more or less, is more violated by members of the legislative arm of government. Maybe somebody wants to impeach somebody. I'm not using any state as an example. I'm not using Rivers State or any state as an example. And the court agreed with us that there's a clear case of violation of Section 19 of the Icpc Act. Now we'll go to Section 22 of the Icpc Act as we prepare to round up. That one will hit people in procurement very hard. Who is in procurement here? The person that raised up his hand that he has registered companies. Don't raise up your hand again. Please. You know, so many agencies, petition